Good morning, students. Okay, today, uh, welcome to MPMC lab. So today I will explain you about the timer counter operation. So 8051 timer programming. So 8051 microcontroller has two timers. So one is timer 0 and next one is timer 1. So timer 0 is 16-bit. So timer 0 and timer 1 both are 16-bit timers. So T0 we can call this as a T0 and T1. So T0 again it is divided into two types. Those are TL0 and TH0. TL0 is a lower order 8-bit timer 0 and TH0 is higher order 8-bit timer 0. And this is also again divided into two things. That is 8-bit TL1 and TH1. So this timer 0 is operating in four modes: mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. And timer 1 is operating in three modes. Those are mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So in this timers, we are going to use two special function registers. Those are T mode, so that is a timer mode register, and next one is TCON, timer control register. So if you consider the T mode register, so this is the format of the T mode register. This is a 8-bit register. This consists of lower nibbles are related to timer 0 and higher nibbles are related to timer 1. So it consists of these bits, these gate bit. So gate bit decides either to uh, to operate this timer by using software means or hardware means. Suppose if gate bit is 0, programmer can control the timer. So that means we can control the timer by using the program, by using the software means. And if gate bit is 1, so we can operate the timer by using hardware means. That means you are getting the signals from the external input lines. Those are INT 0 bar and INT 1 bar. And CT bar is nothing but timer or counter. So that means when CT bar equal to 0, it is operating in timer mode, and CT bar equal to 1 means it is operating in counter mode. That means when it is operating in timer mode, you are getting the clock frequency through the internal oscillator. So from the oscillator, it is coming through the divided by 12 circuit, and from that oscillator you are getting the clock pulses. So that is nothing but timer. And counter is nothing but you are getting the clock pulses from the external circuitry. So that is nothing but counter mode. And this M1 and M0 are nothing but modes of the operation. As I told you, timer 0 is operating in four modes. So when it is 0 0, so mode 0, and 0 1 mode 1, 1 0 mode 2, 1 1 mode 3. So depending on the combination, it will operate these modes. So it is operating in three modes. So mode 0, mode 1, mode 2. So when it is 0 0 mode 0, 0 1 mode 1, and 1 0 mode 2. So this is about the format of T-mode register. So as I told you, these are the modes 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. And coming to the TCON register, timer control register. So timer control register, this is a 8-bit register. And if you consider these lower order nibbles, these are related to the interrupt operation. So now with this timer, these are not that much important. When you are discussing about the interrupts, we can discuss about this. But these higher order nibbles are related to the timer operation. Have to concentrate on this higher order nibble. So you have two timers now. So there are two bits are related to timer 0. These two bits are related to timer 1. And you see here, TR0 is nothing but a timer run control bit. So this is nothing but in order to start the timer, you are having TR0 for timer 0 and TR1 for timer 1. And timer overflow flag bit is nothing but when the timer value is rollover from its maximum value. So suppose if its maximum value is FFFF, so when it is rollover from FFFF to 0000, so what happens? Timer will be overflowed. So that microcontroller should know that timer is overflowed. So how the microcontroller should know? It should give timer should give a a signal to the microcontroller so that timer is overflowed. So that signal we call this as a timer overflow flag bit. So when timer is overflowed, roll over from FF to 0000. So this becomes 1. So this will be given to the microcontroller so that my microcontroller will get an interrupt that timer is overflow. So this is timer overflow flag bit for timer 0 and timer overflow flag bit for timer 1. So this is the circuitry for timer counter. Suppose if it is CT bar equal to 0, you are getting the clock pulses through the internal oscillator and divided by 12 and you are getting this one. And this is the timer, whatever may be timer 0 and timer 1. So it is a THX 8 bit, timer lower byte TLX, timer higher byte THX. And it is given to the timer overflow flag bit. This is 1 bit. This is given as an interrupt. So here gate bit is there. So gate bit, it will decide the operation. That means whether to control the timer by using hardware or software means. Suppose here if you see gate bit is 0, the output of the inverter is how much? 1. So that means the output of the OR gate is 1 if any of the input is 1. So that means it is nowhere depending on this bit. So that means when gate bit is 0, this gate signal is controlling the output of a timer. So that's why we can control by using software. Suppose if gate bit is 1, from the inverter you are getting 0. So that means when it is 0, the output of the OR gate, here one input is 0. So the output of the OR gate is depending on int bar pin. So that means you are getting the signal from the external int bar pin. So that means we can control the timer or counter by using hardware means. So this is TR bit. So this is for to run the timer. So TR bit, you are giving this TR bit, TR0 or TR1. And next T bit is nothing but this is external. Means when it is counting, when a clock signal is coming through the external pins, TX or TX pin, then it is acting as counter. So this is a we can call this as a switcher. When it is connected here, it is acting as timer. CT bar equal to 0. When it is 0, when it is connected to this switch, CT bar equal to 1. So this is how we can use the this is the circuitry for the A051 timer or counter. So this is for timer 0, same thing. They same circuitry as I explained you. Here you will get TH0 and TL0 and a timer overflow flag with TF0. So as I told you, timer 0 is operating in 4 modes: mode 0, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. So this is mode 0 operation. So mode 0 we call this as a 13-bit pre-scaler mode or 13-bit timer counter mode. So that means in 13-bit timer counter mode, so TH0 is 8-bit and TL0 is 5-bit. So that means this is acting as a 13-bit timer mode. So maximum count is 1FFFFH. So this is the maximum count for the timer, and this is given to the timer overflow flag bit, and it is given to the interrupt. And coming to mode 1, this is 16-bit timer counter mode. So most of our programming we are using this mode 1 only. So TL0 is 8-bit and TH0 is 8-bit, and it is given to TF0 and interrupt. So maximum count is what? FFF. So this is the maximum count for the. So this is the maximum count this timer 0 in mode 1 can count. This is the maximum value. And this is nothing but the auto reload mode. Mode 2 is nothing but auto reload mode. So this is mainly used in serial communication for generating the baud rate. So first here TL0 will be loaded with one value. That same value will be loaded into TH0. So it will start from that value. So it will be start from timer will be start from this value. And what happens when timer is overflow, TF0 becomes 1. And when TF0 you are making TF0 becomes 0, again will start the timer. So this is the maximum count it can. It is the maximum value it can count in auto reload mode. So why? Because it is a 8-bit only. So this is FF is the maximum count. This is nothing but mode 3 is nothing but we call this as a split mode. So that means 2 timers will be operated separately. So 2 timers will be operated separately. That we call it a split mode. And this is a timer 1 circuitry. Same circuitry. The difference is here you will get a TH1 and TL1 and timer overflow flag bit. So timer 1 in mode 0. So 13-bit timer mode. So here 8-bit and 5-bit. So this is a maximum value. Same timer 0 in mode 0 is same as timer 1 in mode 1. Only timer, these values will change. These timer values will change. And this is mode 1, timer 1 mode 1. This is 16-bit timer counter mode. This is 8-bit and this is 8-bit. And this is the maximum value it can count. Same thing. Timer 1 in mode 2 is nothing but auto reload mode. So same thing we have discussed in the previous timer 0 in mode 2. Same auto reload mode. So first TL1 is will be loaded with one value. That whatever the value you are loading with the TL1, that will be loaded into TH1. So it will start running. So like that we can generate the baud rate. So this is the maximum count. FF is the maximum count for the timer 1 in mode 2. So these are the modes of the operation. Mode 0, 13-bit timer mode. Mode 1, 16-bit timer mode. Mode 2 is auto reload mode. Mode 3 is nothing but split. So coming to TCON register, timer control register. Upper nibble for timer counter. These are the upper nibble for timer counter, and lower nibble for what? Interrupts. So we are not discussing this. We are discussing only this one. In this, TR0 is for timer run control bit for timer 0. TR1 is nothing but timer run control bit for timer 1. So that means TR is set by the programmer to turn the timer counter on or off. So you have to programmer. So we are the programmer. You have to start or stop the timer. For stop the timer, you have to make TR bit as 0. To start the timer, you have to make TR bit as 1. And timer overflow flag bit. So TF0 for timer 0, TF1 for timer 1. So TF is like a carry only. So that means TF equal to originally it is TF timer overflow flag bit is 0. So when bit becomes 1 means when it rollovers from FFFF, this maximum value to 0000, then only it will set to 1. So that means when timer is running state, timer overflow flag bit will be in 0. So when it reaches its maximum value, so what happens? Timer overflow flag bit becomes 1. So these are the equivalent instructions. Set bit TR0, same as set bit TCON.4, set bit clear TR0. So these are the positions present in the TCON register. So that means if TR1 is there, TR1 is there in 6th bit. So you can use set bit TR1 or set bit TCON.6. Clear TR1 or clear TCON.6. You can use like that. Set bit TF1, TCON, set bit TCON.7. You can use like that. Coming to the programming. So you are using 16-bit timer. So 16-bit timer means a TL0 and TH0. So what happens? TL0 and TH0 will be incremented continuously. You are running the timer. So for that you have to make TR0 as 1. So when TR0, TH0 and TL0 reaches maximum value. So that means when so timer works on the internal system clock. In other words, a timer counts up each machine cycle. It counts them each machine cycle. So when TH0 and TL0 reaches maximum value. So what is the maximum value in mode 1? FFFF. It rollovers to initial value. What is the initial value? 0000. So when it is rollover from the maximum value to the initial value, what happens? TF0 will be raised. So timer overflow flag bit will be raised. So programmer should check for TF0 to stop the timer. Every time the programmer should check the TF0, either timer is overflowed or not. When TF0 equal to 0, timer will be in the running state only. So when timer is overflowed, timer overflow flag will become 1. So these are the steps for mode 1 operation. So you have to choose the timer in mode 1. So timer in mode 1 means here, if you see, mode 1 means if I gate CT bar M1 M0, gate CT bar M1 M0. So anyway, you are not using gate. Yeah, mode 1, no. So I will show you TCON register. TMOD register. Sorry, TMOD register. You have to initialize this TMOD register. So you are using timer 0 in mode 1. No? So anyway, you are not using this timer 1. So these are anyway 0, 0, 0, and 0. So we are controlling the timer by using software means. So that means gate bit is 0. CT bar when you are operating in timer mode. So this should be 0. In which mode you are operating? Mode 1. Mode 1 means when it is 0, 1, it will be operated in mode 1. So if you convert into hexadecimal, so what is this one? This is nothing but 0 and this is nothing but 1. So 0, 1 H. You have to initialize with what? TMOD register. So for the TMOD register, you have to initialize with 0, 1 H. So in the programming, so see here. So you have to initialize. So this one TMOD with 0, 1 H. And next, set the original values of for TH0 and TL0. So TH0 is FF and TL0 is FC. So now what is the timer value? F, 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 C. So this is the timer value. So this is the timer value for timer 0 in mode 1. Next, I have to clear TF0. So previously TF0 becomes 1 means you have to, for starting the timer, you have to clear this TF0. And for starting the timer, you have to make this bit as 1. So set B TR0. So you are making this bit as 1 means set B TR0, timer run control bit. And timer starts counting by incrementing this value. So what is that value? FFFC, FFFD, FFFE, FFFF. After FFFF, what happens? This is the maximum value of timer 0 in mode 1. No? So it roll over from FFFF to what? Initial value 0, 0, 0, 0. So what happens? Till this situation, timer overflow flag bit is 0. So when rollovers from maximum value to the initial value, so TF0 becomes 1. So that means timer is overflowed. So when the timer is overflowed, you have to stop the timer. For stopping the timer, what you should do? You should make TR0 bit become 0. You have to make TR0 bit become 0. Then only you can stop the timer. So see here, when TH0, TL0 load overs from FFFF to 0000, so TF0 becomes 1. Now, so that means what you should do, you have to keep on monitoring the TF0 flag. This TF0 bit is there, no? So you have to keep on monitoring this TF0 bit, this TF0 bit. So that means how you are monitoring this TF0 bit means by using an instruction, jump not equal to bit TF0 again. So that means when TF0 becomes 0, so timer will be in the running state only. Okay. So when TF0 becomes 1, so timer will be overflowed. So what you should do, this condition is not satisfying, it will come out of this loop. Okay. When this bit is 0, when bit is 0, this will be in the same loop. Okay. So when timer overflow flag bit becomes 1, it will come out of the loop. So it will come out of the next instruction. Next, what you should do, you have to clear TR0. You have to stop the timer, stop the process, and you have to clear the TF0. Why you are clearing TF0? For next next time you have to run the timer. No? So when TF0 becomes 1 means continuously you are getting the interrupt to the microcontroller. So that microcontroller will not start the timer. So if you are starting that, if you are running the timer, it will be in the overflow only. So for next stage, if you want to run the timer, you have to make TF0 bit because you have to make this as 1. You have to make within the program. Okay. So this is how you have to do the programming. So this is mode 1 programming circuitry diagram. Suppose you have to calculate the delay if clock frequency is 11.0592 megahertz. So how you are calculating the delay means there are two steps. Suppose in hexadecimal and next one is decimal. Suppose if it is hexadecimal, you have to calculate that. What is the maximum value of this timer in mode 1? FFFF minus whatever the hexadecimal, whatever the this is TH and TL value. So this is a TH value and this is TL value. So whatever the TH value or TL value are initializing plus 1 into 1.085 microseconds. So notice that this should be in hexa. TH value and TL value should be in hexa. Suppose if it is in decimal, if you convert FF into decimal, you are getting this value. This is the maximum value. 65,536 you are getting minus whatever the decimal value n, you are getting decimal value into 1.085 microseconds. You will get a delay value, delay function. So TH and TL value should be in decimal. So normally it will be in hexadecimal. You have to convert into decimal. So you have to generate the square wave at 50% duty cycle at port 1.5. You have to use timer 0. Same, you are initializing timer 0, T mod register. So timer 0 in mode 1, that is 16-bit timer mode. And you are initializing TL0 with F2H, TH0 with FF. What is our timer value? FF, F2. And complement port 1.5. Every time you are making that as a 190, 190 like that, you are calling a subroutine. So when you are calling a subroutine, you are writing the delay function by using the timer 0. Okay. In the delay function, so what you are doing, set bit TR0, you are running the timer. You are keep on monitoring the TF0 bit. Okay. So when TF0 bit is 0, timer will be in the running state only. So it is going from FFF2, FFF3, FFF4 up to so on FFF. So when it is going from maximum value to the minimum value, roll over from the maximum value to minimum value, TF0 becomes 1. So that means this condition is not satisfied. So TF0 becomes 1. So it will come to the next instruction. You have to stop the timer and you have to clear. You have to make TF0 becomes 1. You have to make this TF0 to 1. And return means where it will go? It will go to the main function. Jump here means it will be repeated. Like that, you can generate the square wave at port 1.5 by using the duty cycle. So whatever I explained you, this is the solution. Same thing. This is the program. Means in order to calling a subroutine, so you return the program for the timer within the within the program. Means in order to call the subroutine, you are return the program subroutine within the program itself. So see here, T mod you are initializing 10. That means timer 1 in mode 1. So timer in mode 1 means what? You are using timer 1, no? So 0, 0. Gate bit is 0, CT bar is 0. And this one is mode 1 means 1, 0. And next 0, 0, 0, 0. Why? Because you are not using timer 0. So that means this one is what? 1 and this one is 0. So 10H is the T mod value you are initializing to T mod value. And you are initializing TL1 with 34, TH1 with 76. Here mistake is there. Here this is a 7634. 7634 is the TH and TL value. And you have to start the timer. Jump not equal to bit. So when TF0 becomes 0, timer starts running. When TF0 becomes 1, it will come out of the loop. You have to clear TR1. You have to stop the timer. Every time you have to complement half cycle. So you have to complement port 1.5 and clear timer overflow flag bit. You have to make timer overflow flag bit as 0. Edge jump again means it will be repeated. So it will be repeated so that you can generate the square wave. See here. So what is you have to generate? You have to calculate the delay. So what is our timer value? 7634. No, TH and TL value 7634. So you have to calculate the delay. How you are calculating? Maximum value FFFF minus 7634 plus 1. So if you calculate this one, you are getting 89 cc. Convert this value into decimal. This is hexadecimal value. Convert this value into decimal. You are getting 35,276. So 35,276 is the half period. Multiply with 1.085 microseconds, you are getting 38.274 milliseconds. If you you want a delay for whole period, no, this is half period. Whole period, if you want delay, you should multiply with 2. You are getting 76.548 milliseconds. So you got the time period for a whole period. Time period, you got this. This is nothing but time period. As you know, frequency is 1 by time period. So 1 by 76.548 milliseconds, you are getting 13.064 hertz. So this is how you can calculate the delay for the timer. suppose the given the delay, you have to calculate the values of TH and TL. So how you are calculating? You have to divide the delay by 1.05 microseconds and get the n value, and perform 65,536 minus n. Convert whatever the value you got in step 2 into hexadecimal. So you are getting yy and xx. Yy is a th value and xx is nothing but tl value. See here, write a program to generate the square wave at 50 hertz frequency on pin P2.3. This is the clock frequency. Now we have to calculate the period. 1 by 50 means 20 milliseconds. This is for whole period. You have to calculate for half portion, and that is 10 milliseconds. This delay you are dividing by 1.085 microseconds. You are getting 9216 in decimal. Subtract this 65,536 minus 9216. You are getting 56320 in decimal. So if you are converting this value into hexadecimal, you are getting DC00. So 00 is nothing but TL value, TL1 value, and DC is nothing but TH1 value. So this is how we can calculate the value of TH1 and TL1. So after getting TH1 and TL1, you can write the program easily. So initialize the TMOD register, timer 1 in mode 2. Initialize the TL1 with 00 and TH1 with DC. So 0 DC you should give. Why? Because our compiler will, if you are given directly D alphabet means, it will understand that as alphabet. So this is a hexadecimal number. So you have to give, you have to precede it with a 0. So 0 DC. So what is our timer value? DC 00. So you have to start the timer. For starting the timer, you have to set B TR0, making TR0 bit as 1. Set B means you are starting the timer, and you have to run the timer, and every time you have to monitor for TF timer overflow flag bit. So when TF1 becomes 0, timer continuously starts running. When timer becomes 1, it will come out of the loop. And next, what you should do, you have to clear, if you have to stop the timer and clear P2.3. You have to clear you have to clear every time you are not clear, complementing or complementing this. So when you are complementing, you are getting a square wave. Clear timer overflow flag. So jump again means it will be repeated. Okay. So these are some programs, whatever I explained you, same thing. So these are the programs. Same thing here. I have to generate the TH and TL1 value. So given the frequency 2 kilohertz. So 1 by 2 kilohertz means 500 microseconds. 500 microseconds is for whole period. So you have to find the delay for half period. You are getting 250 microseconds. 250 microseconds divided by 1.085 microseconds. You are getting the decimal value 230. You have to subtract 230 from 65,536. You are getting this 65,306 you are getting. So this value you have to convert into hexadecimal. You are getting FF1. So that is the 1A is nothing but TL1 value, and FF is nothing but TH value. TH1 value. This is the timer in mode 2. See here, you initialize the TH1 with 5. So that means no need to reload a TL1 value. Why? Because whatever the value you are loading with the TH1, that will be loaded into TL1. So starting the timer, timer will roll out from this maximum value. You have to continuously monitor for timer overflow flag bit. So next you have to complement and clear TF1 and jump again. These are the some programs. I will show you in the Keil Microvision. So I'm open the Keil Microvision software. I'm opening the project for timer counter. So you can write the program for the timer by using normal program or using the timers. So this is you can use the blinking of LED or generating the square wave at port 1. And this is by without using timers, by using a subroutine delay function. So you initially org00h, this is the starting of the program. Move A with 00h, whatever the A value you are moving into port 1. So you can't directly move the value to the port 1 directly. That's why I'm using an intermediate register A. Calling a delay function and moving the maximum value to A and A to port 1 and calling this delay function. So this delay function is nothing but you are moving the R7 with FFH and decrementing the R7 and checking for the condition is R7 is equal to 0 or not. If it is not equal to 0, so jump. If not equal to 0, it will be in the same loop like that. So FF means if it is converted into decimal, you are getting 256. 256 means decremented means 255. It is not equal to 0. So it will be in the same loop. Till so R7 becomes 0, it will be in the same loop. When R7 equal to 0, this condition is not satisfying. Return, it will come to the main next instruction. Return means where it will go. It will go to the next instruction. Means next to the call delay, it will come to the this one. So like that you can generate the square wave. So I'm running the program. So you're generating the square wave at port 1.0. No. So what you should do? Go to peripheral. You have to select port 1.0, port 1, and next go to view, go to logic analyzer. So this is the logic analyzer. Go to setup. So select in which port you are generating the square wave. So you are generating the square wave at port 1. So enter, close. So this is a run button. So when you are running this button, you are getting the square wave. You can zoom it, zoom out, zoom it. So like that you can generate the square wave at port 1. Port 1. So every time, so first you initialize A with 0, port 1 with 0, and calling the delay function, and after that you are calling a port 1 with Fn. So like that you can generate the square wave. So in order to stop the program, you can go to here, cross mark is there, no, halt. So you can stop the program and you can come out of the debug session. So this is generating the square wave at port 1 by using delay function. So next program by using the timers. No, so I'm opening that project using timers. Same thing. So here 00h. I'm initializing timer tmod with 01. So tmod with 0 means what timer I'm using? Which timer I'm using? Timer 0 in mode 1. So this is a 01 is nothing but timer 0 in mode 1, and set B port 1.0. So I'm making port 1.0 as 1, calling this delay function. So in this delay, I'm writing the program for the timer. So what is my timer value? TL0 with FDH, TH0 with FF. So that means FFFD is my timer value. So it will start from FFFD, FFFE, FFFF. So when it will roll over from FFFF, so you have timer overflow flag bit becomes 1. So here I am starting the timer. I'm keep on monitoring for TF0 bit. So TF0 bit is equal to 0. Timer continuously in the running state. So when time TF0 becomes 1, so this condition is not satisfying. You have to stop the timer. So clear TR0 and you have to clear timer overflow flag bit and return. Return means where it will come? Here it will come. Again, clear port 1. Every time you are making port 1.0 as a 0 and port 1.0 as 1 and port 1.0 as 0, and you are calling this subroutine delay. So you are generating the delay by using timers. Okay, so go to the debug session. So here if you see, go to peripherals, which port I want? Port 1.0. So this is port 1.0. Go to peripherals, timer 0 I want, no? So this is timer 0. Timer 0. So timer 0 in which mode? Mode 1. And next tmod is 01. See here. Tmod is how much? 01. and this is a timer. You can initialize these values. View logic analyzer. So this is logic analyzer. Go to setup. So here, click here. Which port I want? Port 1.0. Enter, close, run the program. So you're getting every time the timer is running. One second. Here I given some smaller value. I can give this as some F0H. Compile the code. We are getting 0 errors and 0 warnings. Go to debug session. So run the program. Should get the square wave here. Getting square wave. So timer is running. See here, TH0. It is running from FFF0 to FFF1, FFF2 like that. So every time you are getting so port 1.0, it is making 1010 like that. So like that you can generate the square wave, or you can blink the LEDs by using timer program. You can blink 8 LEDs or you can blink 1 LED like that. So like this you can write the program for the timer. So I'm coming out of the debug session.